Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. So in this video I want to talk about this big lens that I've got here. It does look quite professional, doesn't it? Fully set up, fully extended, with a lens hood, with the camo on, and a few accessories on there to make it a bit better and more hardy in weather. This lens is not weather sealed, so you will have to try and weather seal it through a different means, such as getting some sort of neoprene camouflage material you can put on, or you can get some sort of camouflage waterproof covering that you can put on the top. Two companies that I can recommend. So first of all, let's talk about lenscamo.co.uk. I'll put the full description in the description box with links, so if you want to check them out you can do. So basically lenscamo.co.uk have supplied the camo European covering for this lens. I bought that myself, by the way, it wasn't a freebie. And also wildlife supplies .co.uk, they supply other things such as waterproof coverings and so forth. They used to do camouflage like this, but for some reason they decided to stop selling it. So obviously I just wanted to get that out of the way. So we've made some modifications to this 800mm RF F11 STM lens to make it more hardy in weather conditions, extreme weather conditions, whether it be raining or even you know, at the beach, or to make it a bit more dust proof as well. The disadvantage with using this lens rather than the 100 to 400 with the 2x is you can only focus in the central part of your frame, which is about so. So outside of this square box, you will not be able to autofocus because all your autofocus points are confined to that square box. So that's something to keep a note of. But I'll show you the modification I've made closer up in a little minute. Now we're pairing this lens with the R6 mirrorless camera. Yes, they are expensive, but they are worth it for the animal eye tracking capability. And I think it would be advisable to pair this lens with another lens, such as the Canon 100 to 400 Mark II L lens, or the Sigma 100 to 400, the Tamron 100 to 400, or the Sigmas or the Tamron's 150 to 600 lenses. The reason I say that is this has a minimum focus of 6 meters, which is quite large, which means you may need to step back to be able to focus on anything that comes close to you. So it's a good idea to pair this lens with another lens, maybe have a second camera body such as the EOS R, the R6, the R5, you know, or even a digital SLR, you know, for those other lenses, and have this RF lens, you know, on your mirrorless cameras, to cover your bases in terms of anything comes close, you can take a picture of it. So without further ado, let's have a look at the modifications I've made to this lens to make it better, to make it more weatherproofed, and you know, to help protect the lens and make it more usable in the field. Because I think it's important to show you what you can do to this lens to make it a bit better. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at this lens in more detail. So here we have the RF 800mm F11 STM IS lens, rated at 4 stops of image stabilization. So here we have the full camouflage covering from lenscamo.co.uk, which covers the entirety of the lens. It has a neoprene cover for the extension tube that you do have to extend. That's just unlock that, put it back in, and then lock it again, unlock it, pull it out, and lock it again. So then we got the covering here, which has some Velcro that we can just attach on there to give it the full European covering look. Now on here we have the RF 680 iShoot tripod mount that I got from China. Now, while I normally would say Chinese stuff is pretty poorly made, this is actually an exception, and it is really nice on there. And I'll show you a closer look image of that in a moment. But what I had to do in the European is cut a square out so that would fit on there, because before it was just like a small little hole for attaching it to a tripod. The reason I got this was it allows me to carry the lens like that in hand, and I can also hold it like that, and I can actually focus like that with my hand, or use my thumb. If we turn it over, I can use my thumb on there to focus manually if I need to. Obviously the European cutout here allows me access to my focus limiter, AF and manual focus switch, and a stabilizer. And obviously it's covered the entirety of this lens. And here we have the JJC lens hood that I purchased off Amazon for about £18. The genuine Canon one, which is hard to get hold of at the moment in the UK. In fact, no shop I could locate it from actually sold it, because the Canon one sells for about £60. But we can take that off for a minute, because I do want to show you something. That's why there is a switch on here to unlock it, like so, and just pull it off. Now here I just wanted to show you that we've got a Sigma WR filter on there, UV type filter, to protect the front element. If we just take that off there, you can see there, that's to protect the front element. It's quite a hefty piece of glass. These cost you about £100. Incidentally, this mount that I bought off eBay was about £30. The camo package that we've got on the lens, as well as the lens hood here, will set you back about £35. And obviously the lens hood itself, as I said, is about £18 off Amazon. So these are a few modifications I made to the lens to make it more hardy in the field, more durable, easy to use, and protect the lens, because this lens is a plastic lens, and because of that you want to protect it as much as possible. This is the setup I've gone for wildlife photography. Obviously it's not going to be as sharp as a heavy duty prime, but as you can see it is quite stable, you know, on my table there. So I just wanted to show you a few modifications I've made with this lens to make it a bit more usable in the field, a bit more waterproof, because obviously it's not a weather sealed lens. The only thing you need to be mindful of is there's no gasket on the rear of this lens. We just take the cover off, as you can see there. There's no gasket there, so obviously that's a possibility where water could get in. But with the lens coat on there, it does give it a bit of protection on this particular lens. But I just wanted to show you what modifications you can do to your lens to make it a little bit better for out in the field, to protect it. You know, these UV filters, some people loathe them, some people love them to protect your front element. It's always a good idea to protect your front element whenever possible, because you never know if a branch is going to hit the front element or you're going to drop it, and you'd rather break an expensive filter than a very expensive lens. Now obviously price is relative. This lens is £1,000. The filter was about £110, so you know, you are saving a good £900 by protecting your lens. So I just hope this video was a little bit helpful to show you the European cover that we've got on here. I do think it's well made, and I do think it's cut out quite well and quite professionally. The only modification I can do is make a cutout here so I could actually fit the mount onto the actual lens. you do get an Allen key with the actual mount, so you can just pop it in that hole there and just tighten it, and it's tighter than hand tight, and it'll stay in place and it won't move. It's solid. That's not going anywhere. There's no twisting. It's really solid. So I just wanted to give you an idea of price, how to modify it. Yeah, it's a good setup for going out and doing wildlife photography. Highly recommended getting this lens. Even though it's F11, the R6 is really good at low ISOs and higher ISOs. So if you do need to raise your ISO because of lighting conditions, because of the dark F11 aperture, don't be too concerned about the dark aperture. You still can get good results. And remember, it's about 1/13 the price of a real 800mm lens that might be an aperture of 5.6. So it's a good alternative if you don't have a lot of money. So highly recommend this, but I do recommend you pair it with a different lens, just in case anything comes close to you. You know, you may even think maybe it's worthwhile buying the 600mm version of this, with a minimum focus of minimum focus of 4.5 meters. However, I do think you might be better off getting one of the Sigma zooms instead, because I do think they offer you a better aperture of f6.3, which certainly offers you more light coming into your lens. So I hope this video was a bit informative to show you how I've modified this lens. It's not a big investment in terms of cost. So again, the filter, £110, the lens coat, £35, the tripod mount, I think that was £30, and obviously a lens hood on there, which was only about £18 off Amazon. If you really want to get the Canon one, it's £60. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope this video helped you out learning about this lens, and I'll see you in the next one.